individual play now, if we get into the nitty-gritty of it, your champ select for Team Liquid. I was kicking myself so much because I didn't go through with my Gangplank pick on my fantasy for Alphari.
Okay, it's banned now.
Yeah, exactly. I late submitted them, so didn't get credit there. But the question becomes, you know, he has looked quite good on Gangplank. And people, obviously, Immortals included, want to delve deeper into that champion pool. You know, Jenkins, you know, has been able to fill in quite decently for Team Liquid. I think his Gangplank has been a big factor. But the other big question for Champ Select for them has been Jensen and his Viego and some of the other melee carries too. You know, like Lee Sin, and you hear rumblings about maybe Team Liquid a little bit slow on adapting to some of these very powerful solo laners, one of which has been picked.
Yes,
to your
Revenge
delight.
was laughing. That man was smiling, grinning ear to ear. He's like, I got to play Gwen. It's my turn.
Definitely love it, and I quite agree. I think that's the only correct reaction when you get a first pick Gwen. Even if you do have to give a cross on the other side, something like Varus that is very frequently banned and does mean your bottom lane, which the analyst S I think correctly highlighted for Immortals, is going to have a much more difficult time because Varus lanes, whatever support it's going to be, are quite punishing.
So speaking of correct reactions, though, you can figure out what good lane matchups into Gwen are. Chief among them actually is Singed. And like, I want to see an Impact Singed come out at some point. He's not in this game, but he's one of the Singed players in the LCS. Actually ruins Gwen's day. She can't really do anything about that in the matchup, and you still have a decent frontliner to play it out. Like, there are a bunch of top laners. None of them are what people are playing in pro right now. Like, none of her actually really weak matchups that beat her in lane and still do well in team fights, none of those are like in meta, and I'm curious if those will eventually be introduced by teams.
You know what? I'm on board, Freak. I want to see some Singe, and I want to see him proxy.
Yeah.
I want that Singe dying to towers, executing in the fountain. I want that Singe all over the map because that's another angle we haven't seen in the LCS in quite a long time. So let's get right back to this Champ Select, though. I would give your chances at seeing a Singe maybe 0.002.
Yeah, it's low.
I gave the Darius swap to jungle a similar chance, though, and that happened. So here we go. We get the Akali in Jensen's hand. This is what I want to see when I see Jensen on melee. I want to see him on Akali or Echo. And yeah, everybody's going to meme on the Echo with the Zanya thing, but that is one thing out of a very strong Echo career for him. But his Akali has always been his best assassin champion in my eyes. And maybe a LeBlanc is probably number 2. But this is one that he's very confident with, you know? And Akali right now in a very strong state as well. So all you really have to do is worry about the early levels, which he generally plays quite safe and isn't heavily punished. So does actually look good as far as the Champ Select, which we had a lot of questions for Team Liquid kind of swirling around.
And some of the good counters banned away as well for Team Liquid. The Jace, so you don't win really early on with all the ranged poke. The Lee Sin dropped off the table as well as, you know, the invisibility counter. Malphite has an attack speed slow, but wants to... Riven's another one, by the way. Riven is also an exceptionally good counter. Please, please lock this in. No!
I have to say, my respect for Jenkins would probably double if you pick Riven into Revenge.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you end up slamming him. Like, and I honestly I don't even know if I can even measure it, but that would draw some respect right there. You come into the LCS, you slam down a Riven in front of Revenge's face as he's laughing on stage about his Gwen pick.
As you hard counter him.
That would be some hype. Okay, they still have a late pick. They haven't shown it yet, Freak, so we can hold out.
We could hold out maybe. We could hope here. Lucian going to come through again, also a very strong lane bully. Across the LCS, has not been terribly successful at converting those games into wins. You know, middling success elsewhere, generally reasonably successful, but hasn't quite converted in the LCS.
I will say that I actually have liked Insanity on AD carry mids a lot. You know, he was one of the ones that first embraced the Tristana. He definitely plays them more aggressively than some of the other mid laners we've seen using a lot of those AD carries. So I would want a jungler that ganks, and there you go. A Gragas picked up. Premier ganking jungler. I love that Gragas is back in because there's so many options here. It's not a champion that focuses on clear speed as we've had so much in the past, and Xerxes is the guy to do it. So this is, to me, a perfect combination for the Lucian mid lane. A lot of threat here. You will die within a body slam flash to this.
Akali goes top? Or is that Victor top? I think it's Akali going top here. So Jenkins, I know you were hyping up Jensen's Akali, and I agree he's good at it. Akali has some nice situations, though, as well. Of course, keep in mind, you can never immune the ulti. She's going to eventually be in that circle and hit.
And I would say one of the biggest things is that Akali can avoid these all-ins that Gwen is so good at forcing. Gwen dominates a lot of these bruisers that she can just E on top of, takes Ignite for top lane, and then beats you. Akali will have evasive maneuvers to be able to deal with it. Shuriken flip, Shroud, lots of answers there. So I don't see it as we are going to have, prio or anything in this lane. Obviously, Akali's still going to have to scale up. And does scale incredibly well after the addition to extra damage towards the E and towards the ultimate. So do like that option as well.
Okay, gonna be a fun game here. Revenge gets Gwen, answered on the other side by Jenkins on Akali. A spicy top lane matchup for sure. Immortals had a 3-0 start to their summer split. They immediately catapulted to, I believe, 6th place in the standings, but then they began to falter once again. I want to see if they can end week 2 on a win. Team Liquid, with their new top laner, with their new look, decent. Some highs, some lows, but I would still favor them against Immortals here.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely a champ select they can navigate a little bit more comfortably than some of them that we've seen in the past. Maybe with the kind of wild card up there, Jenkins in the top lane on the Akali, who also has actually taken Ignite, and Revenge didn't take Ignite on the Gwen because Akali has so many options of trying to avoid the all-in. I kind of actually like that, a bit of a swap, and Jenkins kind of turning the table here.
So for a Doran Shield to withstand any of the poke that comes through. Double Conqueror there as well, expecting longer duration fights.
It is also always interesting to me because, Xin Zhao has now become a super highly prized pick. Very strong early game, lots of ganking opportunities. But when you pick it with something like a Victor mid and an Akali top that is 0 playmaking until level 6, and then Victor even longer than that, you're going to have to scale way longer versus the Lucian. The Lucian's constantly going to be putting pressure there.
Yep.
It actually kind of reduces and funnels a lot of those jungle options towards the bottom lane.
Speaking of bottom lane, Kobe, segues are here. Check out proview.lolesports.com. This one, Raze versus Tactical for your free one of the game. If you want to see mid lane, pay us a little bit of money. Subscribe to ProView and get the other matchups.
I honestly almost expected you to follow that up with subscribe with your Twitch Primes now to LCS channel, because I don't think that they even have that available.
I don't know if that works. Who knows?
Honestly, though, nice sellout there.
Yeah.
Right back to the Xin Zhao topic, though. Santorin is starting topside on the red, where you would expect him to start. But again, Varus Braum here. Not only does it have high potential for harassment in this lane, as you can see there, Braum playing up past the ranged minion line, easily able to land his Q, as well as Tactical hitting the arrow there. And Tactical and Core JJ, they have always loved to play as aggressively as possible, given whatever matchup they possibly have. So definitely want to see if they can actually push this to the limits. It's the Hail of Blades, Varus, which I'm a big fan of because I love lethality and Muramana builds for the champion. So hopefully we do see that from Tactical. There is no giant tank on the team that you want to have an on-hit Varus for.
Sure.
So I think it's kind of a no-brainer there for him.
Speaking of early choices, I believe Jenkins started with Shuriken Flip at level 1, which normally you start Q, 5-point strike, you just throw it out, you wait clear. But Gwen's going to dash at you and try to auto you. So you just flip backwards, you're like, I won that trade. Later.
That's what we're saying for the matchup. Akali is avoidance answer to the Gwen all-in possibilities topside. And again, that's why Revenge also takes Flash here instead of Ignite. Because Akali, if you ignite her, just backs right out.
Well, Jensen lost. He missed the cannon. This lane is now literally unwinnable. I'm sorry, but it's just over. Congratulations.
You are the worst kind of solo queue teammate. Freak is literally level 2. Spam pinging his mid lane.
I'll be actually taking blue right now. I just question mark ping that one over there. Just let him know, hey, you screwed up, buddy.
Freak is constantly using his F keys to spy on every other lane to see if they miss the cannon.
Because then I'll know, hey, you miss cannons normally. I just walk over, smite that. It's 900 now. I can't miss it. Make sure
and then you open up Twitter and you publicly flame them, not just in the game. Okay, well, back to this one. Xin Zhao did route towards the bottom side. Scuttle Crab picked up here for the extra vision to allow bottom lane to continue pushing. Should be no surprise, though. They can easily suss out that Xerxes did clear towards the top side. And as we said, Jenkins is going to play a lot of these early stages versus Gwen quite respectfully. So not going to put himself into a position to get Gragas ganked.
All right. Well,
Wave pushing, though.
Ward's coming down. Nice, fairly aggressive ward by Revenge. Spots the tri-brush path, which is a pretty common one that Xin Zhao might take after finishing Krugs, for example. The bot laners just scuffling a little bit, but nothing major, as it's going to be the first TP for Insanity. Keep in mind, he is back in the roster. Immortals brought in pretty yesterday as a reward from good Academy play. They did not really intend to fully change the roster out, and hey, 1 out of 27 games, you can afford to take an L if it doesn't look very good. But yeah, have been impressed with Insanity. Think he is a very, very good player. Happy to see him back here as well, as Revenge looks for a small trade. Sidesteps the true damage on Jenkins' side, still feeling comfortable.
This is one thing, because you know, so much talk is about, oh yeah, Gwen OP, but I want to highlight like some of the reasons why she wins so many of these all-ins is because there's so much power in hitting the center of your scissors. It applies the true damage, applies your passive, so dodging perpendicular. When you're playing against Gwen, there's actually quite few counterplay options, but that is one of them. When she comes at you with the scissors, if you have any sort of instant dash or you have any sort of time movement, keep in mind that the center of the scissors is actually quite thin. And perpendicular movement is oftentimes your best bet, since you're almost never going to be able to outrange it if she's able to dash in and starts casting anyway.
And the big chunk of damage is at the end anyway, right? So like, even if you're like, oh, you got me, like, as long as you're moving in time, you're going to dodge some of it at the very least, especially when she stacks up stitches. Mid lane is going to push away from Jensen, so has to go for this one if he doesn't want to drop CS on the way to the recall and the TP back. Insanity already on his walk up again. Went for Cole after the first recall. Double longsword in now as well. As Jenkins forced Revenge to take the first recall. They both get Leeching Leer though, and they're both going to be on their way back.
Leech is in my game every single game, Freak. Insanity going to keep the cannon to be able to deny some of these minions here. Finishes off all the ranged ones. Teleport back though means nothing's really going to come of it. Torn. Honestly, this is probably a counter gank hover. I don't know if Insanity's actually been dashing in to be super aggressive at the moment, because he doesn't have very good vision at all. Lucian, you have to kind of temper your aggression. You can't just always be dashing in, going for these trades, knowing you want to, get those health leads, and he does play it a little bit cautiously there. Good transition from Team Liquid, though.
Hook from Destinies doesn't hit Dragon, so we know it's been pulled out. Goes, yeah, we don't really have pressure. We don't have our people around, so not going to have a real attempt to fight for this one. They might come over, though, but Gragas out of range. But hey, enough health still on the Dragon that it's not going to be taken before he can show up. So here comes the body slam in. Decent damage. Predator has a shield. Flashes to safety. How about the smite coming across, though? 450 apiece. It resets. They're stuck inside the pit now. Who's going to get it? Great smite comes in for Xerxes. Grabs that one. Flashes out of the pit. Team stays alive. Flash down, but Dragon goes to Immortals.
Yeah, and the teleport advantage where Jenkins teleports down thinking they could force the fight. Immortals' comms have got to be so clear right there. They keep everybody calm. Hey, we are going to try and pull a heist here. Get the dragon down, burn it, and evade. Everybody has dashes. They can jump over the wall, and they actually get it out with using Jenkins' TP, pushing in the wave, extra turret play, plus they have teleport advantage. That is a resounding victory for Immortals. Popping off here right now for Immortals, even though the gold lead is tied and nobody's dead. That is a giant macro lead for them. Very nicely executed, with just some restraint. Not just, immediately calling the handshake on the teleport saying, yeah, okay, fine, if they get the engage. It's the confidence of the rest of your team to tell you, no, steady hand there, we will get out. If we get caught, it's our fault. You can flame us later, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. On the day, that's good hands by Xerxes to grab. Obviously a very good smite as well. And yes, a plate and a lot of a wave denied. So good stuff. 300 gold right now to Immortals. Hook going to be sidestepped or walked away from Xerxes. Gonna put the barrel down. No ulti to come out. Braum shield can pretty much always guarantee you don't hit Varus.
And we see the ramifications of this play immediately, and these are going to continue for the next 5 minutes of this game. while Revenge is holding this teleport advantage over Team Liquid. Constant bottom side plays. It's a level 6 Gragas with Flash. This is Predator Gragas with Flash ready to go. Xerxes is a playmaking machine. He has to be respected. So maybe, sometimes when Gragas players are in this position, you see them just body slamming at people to get them to flinch, not going immediately for the body slam flash and seeing if they will respect it. I actually kind of like that a lot, kind of fishing around for flashes when, the lanes haven't been able to burn them themselves. And then you can just get the real pressure with those return visits.
Look soon for the return visits then, as Revenge and Jenkins keep battling each other. There is no flash and no TP on the Akali, so not the best escape tools. Realistically, could be punished. Right now, Xerxes is going to be top set of the map. We know Rift Herald is alive, ready to be claimed. See if they send supports over. Right now, a defensive control ward comes in from Santorum, but that ward can be killed as Revenge can just walk up with his top lane priority and say, thanks for 30 gold, I'm out.
I'm out indeed. Top lane control feeling quite good for the Gwen side. Both of them with Dark Seals though, so we'll keep track of the Rift Herald fight if it does ensue, because you will have some kind of multiplicative rewards here. Xin Zhao clearing at the vision and kind of threatening, but doesn't get the extra clear. I believe there's another ward inside just seeing the Rift Herald that does give them the information. So Immortals are aware of this, and you see the bottom lanes are moving up too.
Ooh, Revenge forced to flash away. Ult comes across. Jenkins! Ignite should not be enough. No solo kill. Tactical force to flash away, hit by Zap, and that means get ready for body slam. Sidesteps that, but when does the cast come down? There we go. It's an easy one to pick up. First blood goes to Raze on the Jinx.
Team Liquid get an advantage in one part of the map, freaking everybody looking up to the top side where Jenkins is forcing Revenge under tower, but in the transition of the bottom lanes up towards the objective to the Rift Herald, they get caught in the river, and that Predator Gragas didn't have to flash, didn't have to ultimate. It's just the Predator active there for Xerxes, and first blood rewarded. Another very big victory for them. Here's another look at it. Tactical Core JJ trying to work through the river to get up to this possible Rift Herald fight. And Immortals say, you know what? You can finish up that Rift Herald. We're going to take first blood instead. Get the guaranteed gold there on Tactical. And like the execution, even with the body slam going over the wall, you're cutting off avenues for him to escape.
And he couldn't. So look at that. Immortals 1,300 gold ahead now. Still do have the Herald on the other side, though.
Exactly, and there's some kind of guaranteed value that you're going to get. Plenty of time to use it on one of these turrets that still have all of their plates. We can already see the trend here for Immortals really coming out swinging versus Team Liquid. Insanity at the top of the charts with that Lucian, as we said, from Champ Select, but he's got a Thresh here with a Lantern. Yeah. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, barely even dealt meaningful damage, honestly. He's still at 80%. Obviously, Guardian Thresh becoming more and more common. That's just a really big shield that blocks any of the damage that came out, so he's totally fine. Jensen clears out most of the wave, though. Not hard with a level 9 Victor with the E-Evolve. Missed a couple CS, but whatever. Here's Herald Summon. If Jensen wanted, he could knock down the first turret individually and then share in the rest. Okay, gonna claim that one. Gonna get half of the next two plates as well, and now a push onto the side as Jensen's on the way out. Has burned flash, but Cass gonna put him right back in. Easy claim, nicely done. Zooks is up at second kill for the team. Insanity knocks it down.
That's why I love just waddling at people as Gragas. Xerxes doesn't even have to flash on him. He just waddles at him. They get the flash out, and then he still gets in range. It gets the ultimate there. And Rift Herald value has already been expended. Freak, it's 1,000 gold lead now with the extra kill for Immortals, plus the Dragon already in tow. They're doing a very good job of snowballing off of this.
Looking really good. Immortals at 10 and 13, looking for number 11. Want to add more to those wins here as wards go down, Dragons to be attacked. Team Liquid will type the Dragon score, so the recall timings, wave timings, is a little unfortunate for Immortals. Will not get any other good objectives. Rocket unlikely to steal and does not.
I will also say, trying to funnel the Rift Herald turret plates there into Jensen, he was able to get, the first one off by hand, as you said. So he's Victor. You're always telling your team, we're scaling. I'm scaling, I'm scaling, I'm scaling. He's almost level 11 here. unfortunately, you know, they haven't had any positive kills for Team Liquid, so no kills or assists to help him with, you know, any of the upgrades. But still kind of trudging along there for Team Liquid, as has become kind of the case in some of the recent situations. Jenkins had a pretty good all-in earlier, but was unable to find the kill on Akali versus Revenge there on the top side. His Ignite is back up, though. And since it's so much shorter of a cooldown than the Flash, maybe he can actually make it stick this time around.
They might try. Revenge still about 40 seconds till the Flash is up, as you're mentioning. Ultimately, tower gets attacked. No more plates to be claimed. Those are gone. So turrets are very frail now. They now take full damage, functionally true damage from all forms of it. You can see mid turret down dangerously low, about 1,000. Imagine they had a Ziggs. The turret should be dead right now.
Interesting build I want to talk about too, because Blabber did this as well earlier, and there have been so many Xin Zhao builds. There are a lot more offensive ones for solo queue, like Eclipse, Shield Bow. We've seen a lot of Gore Drinker here. We've seen Divine Sunder, and we've also seen 2 of these Sunfire Xin Zhaos. And at least for the data for solo queue, the Frostfire is actually the higher, if you're going Bomby Cinder item tank win rate for Xin Zhao. And the slow fields actually can have a decent effect in a comp like this too, when you do have a Victor that is trying to scale up and be this big area damage. But the Sunfire buffs were quite nice for the jungle, so definitely a very competitive auction there. If you are going full tank,
and just deleted Gale Force for the execute, Insanity claims kill number 2.
Is Xerxes ever even going to have to flash? He just keeps on getting them. Another hook!
Okay, big damage. The turn gets the ulti across speeds, not taking a lot of damage, but now they get back in a melee range, and he is just getting run down. Gets some tankiness, gets shot. Raze claims the kill, and a second one. The Marksman getting all the gold, 5-0. TL have only a dragon to their name as Core JJ is running for dear life, and Raze shuts him down for kill number 3.
I got a spoiler because we got them on stage all shouting, celebrating over here. 1v1.
And this 1v1 goes to Jenkins. Who cares about Gwen? Who cares about Alfari? It's Jenkins' day, baby!
Jenkins finds it on Gwen with the Akali. The Ignite does make the difference here as well in the all-in. Revenge, he didn't have any area to actually flash there. I mean, we're just going to keep on rolling these kills on the Victor in mid lane, sitting duck there with no flash. So Xerxes, again, didn't have to flash, finds another engage in the river off of Destiny's hook. They pull in Santorin, and since their mid laner is already dead, there's so much more threat behind that steal. Insanity barely surviving because they get the last tick of damage there to get the execute, and then Raze, I like this flash forward as well to get excited initially, and then he gets in range for the zap to land the slow, lands the ultimate there, gets the extra kill, and it is just Immortals blowing this game wide open.
It's looking good. Imperial Mandate for Xerxes, by the way. I don't know if that's the more common one. Is now Jensen. He's going to get away from this one. Insanity dashing. Gale Force is actually to get away from the Chaos Storm even more. Santorin, if he gets in range, is some decent damage, but not going to happen.
Man, I too still want to, even with how much spotlight should be on Immortals team play and how much they are stomping this game versus Team Liquid. We still got to give some props there to to Jenkins on the top side. Ignite is so effective versus Gwen in cutting the healing. Her kit just has so much healing in it with the passive, but also with the build with the Rift Maker and Conquer, and he takes the all in there. Does find the actual kill this time after getting the advantage, but no extra gold last time. I'd say that's really the only thing that Team Liquid have to celebrate so far from this game, though. Everything else is going Immortals' way. It is Raze on his Jinx, which he has 100% win rate in the LCS, I believe, still with the champion, and he's looking to keep it that way.
Looking good so far, honestly. No complaints. 3,000 if you round is the gold lead. Essence Reaver is done for Insanity Speeds on 2 items now. And honestly, just for TL, they're just catching farm. I mentioned it a bit ago, the mandate in for Xerxes. Definitely interesting. It's obviously gives the team some movement speed. He obviously lands spells pretty reliably.
All right, double buffs now on Insanity as well. So a little bit more power in this Lucian for this Dragon set up. And Immortals, honestly, they do have a possibility of like Xerxes trying to trying to be the front person, but they don't have a lot of tanky stats. So maybe it's Revenge makes an opening here before they try and find that follow-up.
They're going to just give the turret. They said, you know what? Vision's not ours. We don't care. We'll just take mid lane for free. And, well, as a trade, I really should say is the more accurate statement. But now it means they get the crash in tier 2. And if they play hard, they could actually knock down the entire turret here. They've got the gold lead. Like, how easily could TL even team fight you? They do knock the turret down. The marksmen do walk up. Insanity and Raze knock that down. So, hey, I like that one. 1,000 gold for an Ocean Drake when no one's close to Soul. That's Immortals growing their lead.
Yeah. I'm looking for angles for the initiation because I'm like, okay, you know, this very significant lead that they have. However, since the early dragons are already split and you're playing into a Braum that also has vision advantage, does make sense to go for the trade instead and just convert immediately into a wide open mid lane, giving up that dragon. Even with that lead, have to respect the powerful disengage there from Braum and the possibilities when you have no intel on a Kali. Definitely respecting that assassination power. As much as you are ahead in gold, you know, these are very squishy champions. They're building all damage over here with the Lucian and the Jinx, both very viable targets that Jenkins could.
Mistimed flash from Zerg, so he didn't get over it. Pressed a little too early.
Well, he didn't have to use it a lot in the early game, so yeah, there you go. Gets one done. Nice evasive maneuvers as well by Tactical. Ulti flashes out as well. Let's see if they capitalize off this deep vision, though. They're looking for more picks. Destiny off these control wards, fishing around for some hooks. They can get some easy counter jungling done.
And blue. Okay. Ruin's like, I don't actually need any more haste. Don't really need mana. She has very friendly mana cost. That is the shield up for JJ. Rooted in place, puts down the ult, jumps back to a teammate. And now Immortals, well, the health bars are still pretty high. They shouldn't be feeling in too much danger. Indeed, they get to knock down the camps, and Insanity still on the split push. So bot lane tier 1 about to drop. There's going to be 3 turrets to 1 here for Immortals.
Since nobody actually died there, we can at least point out some of the small things, like, you know, Revenge, when he's trying to get out of there on Gwen, you always want to try and find something to auto-attack after you E so you can get your cooldown reduction there, especially when you're running away. That's when it's hard. And it's supposed to be kind of the counterplay, and the champion is like, oh, your dash is up very frequently when you're trying to kill someone because you can jump in, get your auto-attacks on them. But it's harder to find that cooldown refund when you are, you know, escaping, obviously, but tags the wolf there for a little bit of a refund. It gets out, no harm, no foul. Immortals, though, just transitioned back over to the other side of the map, pushing up towards the last one. Left!
I heard a flash. I see damage from Tactical. Sidesteps the crowd control. Able to get away. That zap would have meant his death, but he's safe.
Yeah, Tactical again. This one, he had no flash of his own to evade, so just walks his way out. Revenge does finish up the tower and draws the Ignite, but has to flash for it, so longer cooldown exchange there.
Cooldown, but maybe the Ignite means more on a team fight if it's going to happen soon. Keep in mind, Dragons up in 2 minutes. TL would get to Soul Point if they claim it. Immortals makes it 2-2. It's going to be a while until that one's going to come across, but Baron, obviously the maybe more important objective on the table right now. See if Immortals can take into vision control to make that a possibility.
I want to see if Team Liquid can ever get much out of this Victor as well. You know, because we're getting to this stage of the game where if you've been telling your team the whole time, we're scaling, we're scaling, we're scaling, now they want their returns, okay? They had the early investments. See if he can actually get a, you know, good gravity field placement. There are definitely a lot of options for kills on Immortals. Gwen is definitely a very difficult one to pin down for the team, but everybody else, if you've got Braum and you've got gravity field from Victor, maybe.
It's gonna land. Braum in the front, big explosive cast, but it's Destiny. Shut down instantly. Core was there. It was a bait the whole time.
All right, that is the pick to open up some breathing room from them. Ultimate gonna go wide. Don't think the execution would be able to finish it off anyways, but Team Liquid, they get the support. It's not one of the big bounties, so not big cash in there, but some decent little leeway as far as setting up your vision to protect against a Baron pickup here for Immortals.
2 power spikes just came through, though. Cosmic Drive done for Jensen. Menamune done for Tactical. That's going to transform the Mormana in mere moments. Yeah. So those will definitely be online at full power in time for Ocean Drake. Even though Raze has more gold, he is still slowly on his route to item 3. So 80 carries you can consider to be at fairly similar power levels despite the 1,000 gold difference between them.
All right. Can they even get in to clear out that control ward? Core JJ has exhaust ready as well. So happy to play the front line, happy to disengage the rest of the team while throwing down exhaust on Revenge. They don't have a good flank for Jenkins though, so he's going to make a long route around the back of this Dragon. Raze is actually the most vulnerable one on that side, and they only have this blue trinket in the ward behind red to actually see the path. But they're just making a beeline towards mid once again. They give up the Dragon. Their wave is pretty far behind, so Team Liquid actually, all you have to do is commit one person to the Dragon and try and get everybody else back over to mid.
Cannon minion. That turret's going to lose a lot of health, but Immortals, what else are you getting here? They're not even committing the resources, even though, as you mentioned, they were there. They could have gone for it. They do damage that, by the way, will regen off that turret. It'll be back to full in a couple of minutes, and all they do is give away soul point to Team Liquid.
Honestly thought they were going to make the harder push and, like, you know, everybody else charge up the lane with Insanity. Yeah. Because if they did have, you know, even just Raze, honestly, they would have had a chance to actually significantly chunk it. Right. But Team Liquid, they recognize the move immediately, and they're like, okay, we only need one person at Dragon. Then everybody else start kind of trailing up through the jungle and threaten the flank on them so that they don't stick to it.
Agree. I like Immortals a lot more with Insanity. He's been very good. I'm a big fan of him. I thought he was very strong last year, even though Immortals looked a lot more lackluster. I think he was always solid, and Immortals definitely, I think, one of my big teams to watch in the summer split in the season overall. And he's a large reason why. 5 out of 6 participation, plenty of gold. I think he's the gold leader of the game itself. Keep watching him in these fights for sure. But yes, I am perplexed by the mid-game shot calling where they give up Dragon and their mid lane outer for, at best, a minion wave.
They had quite a few good choices in the early stages to set them up here, but if you get caught sleeping against Team Liquid, you will regret it already. You mentioned Soul Point, 3.5 minutes, so kind of floating around possibilities of healing cutting here. But honestly, with how many threats that TL have as well, I like that it is a full tank Xin Zhao. Yeah. So Braum plus full tank Xin Zhao actually can buy you so much time, and you can pull off the fabled Zinsec. It gives you a lot of confidence to go, basically, if you W in on somebody and then take the charge and flash over to try and use Xin ultimate to knock back someone you have not autoed yet, primarily a Lucian or a Jinx freak, right? Then you can make one of those big highlight plays, which is very rarely seen. And I really, really hope that we get it from Santorin, because tank build like that's one of the only main benefits of it. You do get to stick in there a bit longer. You do get to go for more of those audacious plays, I would say. Nice.
And this is one of the fun things, actually, about champs with adaptable builds, is it lends them to being early picked. Okay, we want a strong jungler who has gank pressure, who can frontline whatever. Okay, we'll grab Xin Zhao. Okay, based on the draft, we need a tank. Oh, I'll just do this build then.
Follow up. If a champion is, say, 54% win rate in Diamond Plus and above, and has 5-6 viable builds, we might need to look into it. I do like flexibility, though. I honestly am a proponent of bringing back AP variants for champions that are not usually AP builds. I know that is like, just that general premise is kind of frowned upon, and there's consciously steering away from it, but I always found it quite hilarious and funny when you get like AP Tristanas full bursting people and stuff like that.
The goal is fringe viability, as far as I can tell. It's never to overtake the main build. So like AP Twitch is not allowed to be the best Twitch.
AP Master Yi, you maybe that
was a little toxic.
That stuff coming in.
Yeah. So we are here though and looking at a Baron pretty soon. Oh, they see Insanity. He gets rooted. That boy is almost dead. The flash follows. Xin Zhao does not have enough damage to kill him, does not take the 4th attack to get stunned away. And now Revenge, as you want back in, of course, cannot be easily re-hit. He has the W available if needed, and it is a flash forced away.
You know, the saddest part of that play, Freak? Yeah. The Zinsec is much less likely without a flash on Xin Zhao.
That's true.
He tried to follow it up. I'm like, oh, okay, well, burning Lucian flash is pretty big, but my Zinsec.
Yeah, and he has E and Gale Force. So, like, of all the champs to lose flash on, Lucian is maybe the safest. Oh, well, it's okay. By the way, next Dragon spawning in 50 seconds. Immortals have not shown a desire to take these away. TL, by the way, I believe it's 3 dragons straight. Immortals got the very first one of the game and have not wrested control of the bottom river. Now with the scuttle here, it's impossible to not have vision control when the dragon spawns. It is guaranteed for them. I want to see if they actually stand their grounds. Immortals are the winning team. They're up 4,000 gold.
Oof.
They should be taking these objectives.
Revenge a little slow on that W, I think, with the arrow actually landing and getting a little chunk on him. Can heal up a little bit here, though. Not too difficult for Gwen. They've got full vision in the jungle, but look at Akali on the minimap. I think they got vision off of the ward he just killed. There are 2 control wards here, too, so they immediately send people to spot Jenkins. So the main thing here for Immortals are trying to keep a tracker on this level 16 Akali. It's the most dangerous thing to them right now. Jenkins getting into the back line.
Burning it fast. Destiny trying to zone. He could go for the box to zone them out. Now it's going to die in time anyway, and there's going to body slam away. No easy chase. Doesn't even have to burn the ulti to guarantee it. It is just Immortals swinging in, claiming it, and TL just too late to the party. Don't even get mid-push either. I mean, the wave is gone, but if they wanted to say, screw it, Dragon's yours, they could have gone for the turret itself. Instead, it will just be a bit of CS crashing. No turret kill.
Yeah, very tricky timing there for Team Liquid without having great vision on it, because Jenkins wants to get the flank off at the exact timing that they have Santorin stepping into the river, but they miscalculate a little bit there, and these dragons are burning like paper. So we again have another kind of hands up in the air freak for Dragon. This one goes poof in the opposite favor. Immortals happy to pick that one up. We'll say there for Jensen, though, cresting the 300 CS mark there for Victor can he get the combine as well? Yes, does get the combine for full magic penetration here. So this is now 3 spike Victor. Now you get to see the explosive damage on the side of Team Liquid. I have to say, even with all the early leads there from Immortals, they have to be very cautious heading to these team fights. There's so many things. Xin Zhao's going to be running straight for you, straight up the middle here with the full tank build. Jenkins constantly flirting around the opposite side, looking for the flank.
Okay, Akali pushing in the bottom lane. Immortals walking up a bit. They want to control Baron as they knocked in the control wards. They are, in fact, the team that does so. It's Team Liquid playing with Fog, but they are split pushing. They are trying to force Immortals to react to that. And as many of the members are seen walking back out through mid, especially with Raze attacking this, they know Baron is not on the table yet.
I have to say, it's actually very difficult for both these AD carries now, because Team Liquid have scaled so much with controlling these dragons, keeping the gold lead close, that now you are faced as one of these 2 AD carries trying to fight into a Xin Zhao Braum front line, some of the most annoying for AD carries because of the ultimate, because of the zone control, but then also with the pretty decently fed, even just with a single kill there, Jenkins level 16 Akali flank with teleport being ready. There are a lot of things to keep your eyes on for these AD carries, so I think I actually put a lot of weight on Destiny's Thresh in his positioning and keeping them both safe, because it's really hard to keep your eyes on both AD carries and keep them both safe, and watching for that flank.
And heck, there's even 3 in the game, so gonna have fun tracking everybody properly here as the items keep going through. Xerxes going for Bruiser AP. Zhonya's done. Banshee's on the way. We mentioned the mandate a while ago, but it's also just a bit more supportive overall, but does add some extra magic damage threat. Gwen might not always be enough, so that's going to add up and complement the double physical damage marksman pretty nicely. Next dragon spawns in 2 minutes. It would still be Ocean Soul for Team Liquid. Generally speaking, should feel pretty good against marksman. Any consistent damage team fears Ocean Drake a bit more, as you just kind of really dial down that DPS functionally.
Xerxes rounds out his full playmaking build, by the way, for Gragas. He's got the spell shield now with Banshees on top of Azonia's, on top of utility Mythic here. Really, really excited to see if he's able to pull off one of the big Gragas plays, because everybody's got their summoners available since we've been cautiously just clearing waves, ping-ponging, and clearing out the vision now. So it's all about your flash timing, these spell shoots, and these immunities coming down to who gets that pick. I will say it feels a little bit more stable for Team Liquid with Braum Xin Zhao being able to force out some space from Immortals, but because Immortals get into the river first and they get their vision clearing done first, you can have the advantage there, especially with the added kind of wild card threat of a spell shield Gragas.
So of note, the trinket choice for Jenkins is Sweeper, which means he cannot ward for himself outside of control wards, making it very hard to push aggressively, because obviously CoreJJ is busy dealing with Baron right now, and so never any wards means Jenkins can't really attack that bot lane tier 2 turret despite being the split push leader. Now fight goes over the bottom river. Enough wards that both teams feel safe. The Baron's not being snuck. TL the first to clear mid, but it's still 35 seconds away.
I think that Trinket choice is kind of indicative of what Team Liquid as a team are looking for. Do you want to have extra vision for your split push, or do you want the sweeper for making sure that your flank is unseen?
Oh, wow. Instantly attacking, though, the double marksman. Not going to be the healthiest as they wait for this team to come around, but yes, they are forcing TL over. TP coming in for Akali. Here comes the flank. This is Team Liquid taking the fight now. 7k health is plenty on Baron. No rush at that one. Stun's going to land. He's damaged in Destiny, pops the locket. Jenkins spotted, flash to safety. Over he goes, burns the Zonias. And the rest of the team comes in. Tactical finds one. Jenkins, I believe, has R2. Doesn't have a good target, though, and they're going to run away. Destiny is down. TL get one for nothing.
They get one flank to rule them all. Jenkins just needs to pin them in for the hard engage, and Team Liquid forcing on the Baron as well. Immortals definitely plenty of damage still, but they've got very, very few options for setting up that damage. Destiny's dead, and Xerxes is out of the fight.
Chomper's down, couple of slows in as well. Centaur and a half. They say, you know what? We can at least go for the Ocean Drake, Ocean Soul. We've got Smite available, no problem there. At best, you can steal Jenkins. Ooh. Nearly killed by the Heroics of Insanity, goes in. Oh! Shut down, and Revenge, you are next. You're not getting away from this one. Team Liquid take the fight down 4K, and they get a 3 for nothing.
Immortals were completely split on that hero play, Freak. That was only the solo laners for Immortals looking on the quick attempt at a kill onto Jenkins. He's able to get out of it and to easily have the entire team collapse while Immortals are kind of split on that red. This is
going to be the hope. Not going to happen. Zoned away. Health bar's too low. Claimed. Ocean Soul for Team Liquid.
I think that's about going to do it there for Team Liquid. Even with the gold deficit, they just have so many more options on how to play this out. Now with the Ocean Soul regeneration as well, the Xin Zhao really just gets to run kind of this split through your team. Centauran easily can tank up the Baron, so it's not just an Ocean Soul. It's going to be crazy sieging power, and they also have the better split push threat, so a lot of options here for Team Liquid.
Okay, Revenge teleports in. Rocket going to be easily tanked, no problem. But what about the team fight? Okay, Ray spotted by Jenkins. You don't have a good way out. That is effortless. Well played, though. Jenkins plays it right. Santorin walking away. Big damage. He's armor stacked, so Revenge can take him down, but he's left alone. He's got a bit of immunity, but not enough ways out. Jenkins is on for a second. Time for his third. Xerxes gets found out. Is that the quadra kill? Yes, it is. Welcome to the LCS, Jenkins. You're looking great.
Is that Jenkins Akali, baby? Because he is annihilating Immortals. Left alone with the juicy targets. Takes down both AD carries, cleans it up, and racks up another W here for TL.
Beautifully done there. They got behind, but top diff. It's like the roster never changed. Jenkins looking great. TL winning through the top lane, finding the flanks, finding the fights, and getting what they needed. A slobber knocker, a 37-minute game, but a win in the end. Congratulations, Team Liquid, on win number 15.
And he did so much of it himself in the early game. Take yourself back, Freak, to the early stages where Immortals controlling all these early objectives, getting early kill after early kill, snowballing fairly effectively. And what do we say? The one thing going for Team Liquid at that time, the Jenkins 1v1. He consistently put it up, pressure on the top side, uses the Ignite. He actually finally got that solo kill on the Gwen, then is able to add that critical flank to the team fight for them and bring it all together for Team Liquid. They bide their time. They did complete. They did good on the promise of scaling, Freak.
They did. They did.
Here we go.
There we go. Yes. That is what you want to see. Good job, Jenkins. Yes. Love seeing it. Absolutely love seeing it. A well-deserved trophy hoist. Honestly, the trophy top laner. On the Immortal side, though, you can't feel good. You started that game out 6-0 with 3 kills on Lucian, 3 kills on Jinx, and somehow you gave away 3 straight dragons. And in only one of those cases did you do anything about that. Okay, one case you trade dragon for 2 turrets. I like that play. You're ahead in gold. Cool. Now you have map control. Then they gave away Dragon number 4 for 3 autos on an X3 or inhibitor turret. That's not okay, Immortals. That needed to be cleaned up.
Woo! What a fun one. I love it when we get to little M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end as well here. Jenkins in the spotlight, on stage as well. The team rallying around him. You love to see that as well, not just within the game performance from Team Liquid, but the camaraderie on stage after as well, with so much of this, drama actually, circulating with all the recent circumstances there for Team Liquid. So happy to show a united front in-game and out of game.
Yes.
They get tilt-proof for basically the entire bottom side of the map rewarded. But honestly, everybody's probably given the after-game.
Yeah. That is a 4x honor for Jenkins every single time. He gets the little knock-up saying, "You were very honorable this game. Congratulations."
A little leaf.
It's on the loading screen border the next game because he got more than one honor from his pre-made, so that was good. And I mean, I don't want to bias the vote, although it's just us and the analysts. Like, I'm voting Jenkins player of the game for that one. Kobe, are you also?
Wait, let me do my shocked Pikachu face. Is that good? Because it's not a lot of not a lot of emotive.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
So I feel like you nailed it. You know what?
Shock.
Honestly, it is going to be super nice as well for for the team to get just a win back on the board to end the week with. So like how they're able to solidify here some of the identity for the team as well after all the changes.
Yeah, it is weird that the identity for this week is like comebacks, where like the EG game was like real scrappy, and then obviously I think lost at the very end, which is an unluckers, but at least coming away is good. We'll see TL, of course, a lot more. 21 more games to play. They're still top 4 in the standings. Now we are heading over to the stage where Latigris is standing by with the perfect human himself for a Verizon post-game interview.
The perfect human being, Core JJ, gracing us with his presence here on the stage. Now, that game definitely started with some Immortals advantages despite some Dragon control by Team Liquid. But how do you feel Team Liquid pulled off the victory?
Yeah, it was a really tough game. They played really well in early game. They used their advantage really well. But we had Jenkins Akali, so we went late game.
Yeah, we saw some really good flanks from him that really turned the tide of the team fights. Was he calling for that, or was it you or somebody else telling him to do so?
I don't know. He didn't just, I don't think he even called it. He just did it.
He did it. He was there. He made it work, and the rest of the team did too.
Yeah, I just realized that he got triple kill, quadra kill, something after everything happened.
Oh, yeah, it was a quadra. It was a pretty sick one. You had some sick moments, too, though, specifically on the Braum, making sure to react very quickly when Destiny was trying to make things happen. Were you worried at all about him being back on the Thresh pick?
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about his Thresh pick because, I knew his Thresh is pretty good. But I also knew my Braum is pretty good, but this game didn't go what I expected.
Yeah, definitely defied some expectations there with the plays in the end. Well, we already know your Braum to be good. We know you to be a perfect human being. Now we know that you have broken the highest LP record in solo queue. What was your reaction to finding that out?
I actually didn't know what was the highest LP until I asked to the Tarzan. And then he said it's 1738, so it felt pretty good to break it. And then, I don't know, if I hit 2K, it looks even cooler. I want to look for it.
Yeah, the 2K, definitely a lot cooler than I in the comments there. Core JJ, we wish you the best in your pursuits of that 2K, and thanks for stopping on by.
Thank you for inviting me.
What a TL game that we just had, a W for them. We will continue with the action on the other side of this break. See you there.
Thank you.